What's up, guys? It's Nutsack. I'm back. Sorry that I did take a little break. I was sick, and you guys know how much I stutter in my videos already, so I didn't want to sound like too, stupid with my stutter and like my raspy ass voice. So I just start feeling better, and since it has been a little bit since I dropped the video, I feel like I'd come back with a banger. I'm dropping the most casual takes in MMA part 2. The part 1 was the most viewed video on my channel, so I'm assuming it's like the most popular video that you guys like. And this is gonna be part 2 because I thought I would drop a banger today. I got Alex Pereira on the cover because a lot of these takes are Alex Pereira related. So yeah, let's go on. Let's just get into it, guys. All right, first casual take, we got Pereira isn't skilled, he's just powerful. I think this is one of the dumbest takes. This is some shit that like Izzy fans say because they just want to discredit Pereira, when in reality Pereira outstruck Izzy in the first fight. He got knocked out in the second fight, fair enough. He outstruck Jan by decision. He didn't even knock him out. He outstruck Jan by decision, and Jan's a very good striker even if he's like 40. Jan's skill set doesn't really age, I'd say. He just has that low kick, the jab, and that you don't really outgrow that, in my opinion. And Jan still outstrikes a lot of people, in my opinion. So yeah, Jamal Hill pieced up Glover on the feet, and this is actually a pretty good striker. Pereira ran through him. The first fight with Erie with Pereira was competitive until he got knocked out. Controversial, a little bit of early stoppage, you could say. But in the second fight, Pereira just schooled Erie absolutely and just destroyed him. And then Strickland, that fight wasn't very long because Pereira just slept him right away. But yeah, so, and I don't understand why people don't think that Pereira is skilled, that he's just powerful, because an example of a person who's not skilled but is just powerful is someone like Derek Lewis, someone like Tai Tuivasa, bro. Like, just those guys literally have power and nothing else. People act like Pereira's like them. He's not. Pereira's really good low kicks, really good body kicks. He just knocked out Yuri with the head kick. He has really good clinch striking as well. Body jobs, body jabs, body jabs. Shots to the body, like I said, yeah. But Alex is a super skilled striker, guys. But it's just like he's such a good striker. Like he hits you and you go out. But that's just his power. So, but I'm not saying that he's a bad striker. That's literally not what I'm saying. What am I saying, bro? Pereira is skilled. He's a very skilled striker, and I think he's one of the best strikers in the UFC, if not the best. Maybe not pound for pound, but like when you look at his resume, he's definitely the best striker. My next scheduled take is people who discredit fighters because they got saved by the bell. So I always hate when people do this. So what this basically means is, like, if they're fighting and so for example, Izzy and Alex in their first fight, at the end of the first round, Izzy rocked Alex bad with a shot, and he literally could have had him out of there with like a couple more seconds, but it was right at the end of the round, so he got saved by the bell, right? But people like to use that as like an excuse. So people will say like, oh, Izzy was whooping Alex's ass, like, but Alex got saved by the bell. What people don't know is actually that first round was extremely close. Izzy did win it because of the damage at the end of it. But I don't think that fighters should be discredited because they got saved by the bell. For example, like, I think it's stupid just because in every single fight that there's ever been in UFC history has had 5-minute rounds. Like, why are you waiting till the end? Okay, I know it's easier said than done, but like, why do you have to resort to only KOing someone at the end of the round? You know what I mean? Like, if you're really better than them, then you'll go out there the next round and dominate them right away. For example, Alex in the second Yuri fight. Alex drops Yuri brutally at the end of the round. Yuri gets saved by the bell, right? Right away in the second round, Alex knocks him out. Izzy, even Izzy in the first Rob Whittaker fight, drops Rob Whittaker bad. Could have like knocked him out cold with one shot right at the end of the buzzer. And then they didn't call it at the next round. Izzy fucking knocked out Rob again, did the exact same thing. So how come, if you're really that good, then that's what you're supposed to do. You can't take away fighters' credit because they got saved by the bell, in my opinion. I think that Alex win is a still legit win. I argue with people on TikTok over this shit, and they'll say some shit like, oh, Alex should have lost Izzy, but he got saved by the bell. Like, acting like that's not the same rules that there's been since UFC 1, bro. Like, it's just stupid in my opinion. But moving on to the next one. Discrediting fighters when they get a finish when they're losing. So basically what this means is like, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, they get a finish like while they're losing the fight. I put Leon up here because it happened in the Usman fight, and then Alex because it happened in the Izzy fight. I think this is pretty stupid as well. People say shit like Leon, people call shit like Leon like, oh, that was a lucky shot, a fluke, like he should have lost. But the same people for Alex say shit like, oh, sorry, the same people for Alex say shit like, oh my god, Alex is so good, but like, it's the same shit basically. But I agree with the fact that fighters should get credit if for getting a finish when they're losing, because it showcases their mental game plan and their ability to come back. Like, Leon Edwards was in the cage with Kamaru Usman, one of the most dominant champions ever, and he timed a perfect head kick, knocked him out cold. And people still say to this day, like, that's a fluke, it's a lucky win, like that should have never landed. Like, Usman was dominating that fight just because they like Usman more. I understand a lot of people don't like Edwards because it's kind of boring, but that you shouldn't take away the credits for Leon for timing that head kick. It was a perfect head kick. And then people always forget the fact that Leon went out there and beat Usman again. So it wasn't a fluke. Leon's just better, and the reason that Kamaru was winning the first fight was because it was at altitude. And then as for Pereira, I mean, yeah, like, but Pereira perfectly checked Adesanya's low kick and then just wailed on him. And absolutely, he was out on his feet. He literally destroyed him. So I don't think fighters should get discredited when they're losing, because it showcases their mental game plan and their ability to come back from a loss. So, yeah. The next take is going to be that Izzy is always outstriking Alex, but Alex just has the left hook. This picture right here just disproves it. Alex literally outstruck Izzy with the stats in the fight. Now, let's break this fight down. First round, striking was close. Striking was actually close. Could have gone either way. Izzy won the first round because he rocked Alex bad at the end, and he won it off the damage. Second round, Alex won striking wise. And third and fourth round, Izzy grappled. So that's not really striking, but every time it was on the feet, it was close. And then in the fifth round, Alex dominates Izzy in the striking so bad that he gets a finish. So I don't understand where this is coming from. A lot of people like to bring up the first kickboxing fight, saying it was like a robbery or some shit, and saying like, oh, Izzy's always outstriking Alex, but Alex just has the power. And even Izzy himself says that shit. But no, Alex is just a super skilled striker, and this picture right here proves it. Like, he literally outstruck him on the stats. So yeah, man, it is what it is. It's just Izzy fans cope. Izzy cope himself, and I understand Izzy knocked him out, but like, that's one big shot. I wouldn't say he really dominated him and then knocked him out after that. Alex was actually winning that fight before the knockout. But yeah, moving on to the next take. Title wins always matter more than resume. I don't like this take because a lot of people will put people like Anderson Silva top 4 because of this. I know you guys hate like when I say that shit, and I know I always ran about Anderson Silva, but it's true. Like, just because someone was a champion and because they had more like title defenses and title wins doesn't mean that they're better than someone. For example, I think Peter Yan, you can make an argument for him being the bantamweight GOAT, and it's because of his resume. Like, who's he beat? Jose Aldo, one of the greatest of all time. So Corey Sandhagen, amazing guy. Song Yadong, like Uriah Faber. Aldo, if you count that win. Arguably Sean O'Malley, like, those are amazing wins. Like, that's probably the best resume in bantamweight history. Same with Merab. Like, Merab's a top 5 bantamweight for sure. He's beaten Jose Aldo as well. He's beaten Henry Cejudo. He's beaten Peter Yan. Marlon Moraes. Like, super great resume. Like, people don't understand. And then they'll put people like TJ Dillashaw ahead of Peter Yan and Merab just because TJ Dillashaw had a little more title wins. They'll put Aljo above Peter Yan because Aljo had more title wins. Like, no, it's not the case, bro. Like, it doesn't always matter like who you're fighting for a title. It just matters who you're fighting. Like, for example, just title wins don't always matter more than a regular win just because it's strapped to a title. For example, like how can I bring this up? Who's a good guy? Okay, Merab's win against Peter Yan is better than Sean O'Malley's title win against Chito Vera. right? So exactly. So title wins don't always matter more than normal wins. Same. I also put Dustin Poirier here because Dustin Poirier here is a top 5 lightweight of all time, and he's never even won a belt. You could arguably put him top 3 even if you wanted to. I don't have him top 3. I have my top 3 for lightweight all time is Islam, Khabib, and Charles. But honestly, you could put Dustin above Charles, but I have Charles above Dustin. And Dustin's never even been a champ, but look at Dustin's resume. Dustin's resume is insane, and he's over guys like Frankie Edgar, Ben Henderson, Anthony Pettis, Eddie Alvarez, guys like that, even though he never won a belt. So, yeah, I don't think title wins always matter more than resume. I think resume actually matters more than title wins, in my opinion. But, yeah, moving on to the next fight. This is what a lot of people say whenever John Jones, you guys know how much I hate John Jones. I'm sorry I have to go on that John Jones rant. But whenever you say, oh, John Jones robbed Dominic Reyes, the fans are always like, John Jones fucking meat riders are always like, oh, so the judges got the fight wrong? Yes, they did, bro. People don't understand that judges can get fights wrong. Like, the judges are not always right. For example, 2 of the most brutal robberies in UFC history. You can watch that fight. You can watch both these fights with your eyes. I don't look into the GSP one a little like that much because, I think Johnny Hendricks was on roids actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if John Jones was on roids for the Dominic Reyes fight as well. But Dominic Reyes won the first 3 rounds, and that was so clear. I don't understand how John Jones won that. And another stupid ass take, in my opinion, is the people who say you gotta beat the champ to beat the champ. No, dude, that's not true at all. If you win the majority of the rounds, like Dominic Reyes had a clear win against the champ. He easily won the first 3 rounds. I don't give a fuck that John Jones is the sitting champion. Dominic Reyes beat him in the first 3 rounds. And you're going to sit here and say that, oh, you had to beat the champ to beat the champ. Like, yes, Dominic Reyes beat the champ. He just wasn't given the belt. But, yeah, so the judges can get fights wrong. If the judges never get fights wrong, then why do some fights go to split decision? Why do judges disagree sometimes? Exactly. So, makes no sense. The next take is people who say, oh, he's only beating cans, he's not that good. When you're talking about prospects in particular. So people like to discredit prospects just because they're hyped up and they want to seem like hardcore and cool and shit. I just put a bunch of these guys because these guys are examples of people say like, oh, he's only beating cans, he's not that good. Payne Talbot, Raul Rosas, Bo Nickel, and Umar Nurmagomedov. People don't understand that when it's your first couple of fights in the UFC, you're not going to be fighting top 10 guys automatically. Alright? You're not going to be like fighting for a title in your 3rd fucking UFC fight. You're going to fight cans because you've just been signed to the UFC and the UFC wants to market you. So they're going to give you cans so that you can fight them and destroy them, and then they can promote you basically. That's what they did with Bo Nickel. They put him on the main card of 300. I don't think they should have done that, but they did. They put him against Cody Brundage, and that performance wasn't that great. It could have been a little better, but Bo Nickel did beat Cody Brundage pretty convincingly, and now Bo Nickel has a high marketability, I guess. People say the same shit about Umar. Like, I think Umar definitely could beat Corey Sandhagen just because he's bigger. I think Corey Sandhagen is far more skilled, and I do think it's a jump up in competition, but people could discredit Umar just because, oh, he hasn't fought a ranked opponent. The reason he hasn't fought a ranked opponent actually is because all the ranked opponents decline fights with him because of how scary he is. Same with guys like Payne Talbot and Raul Rosas. People think they're not going to be good just because they've only beaten cans. Well, guess what? Sean O'Malley, back when Sean O'Malley was a prospect, the UFC would fucking give Sean O'Malley the biggest cans on the bantamweight roster just so he can go and knock him out and get a highlight reel, basically. And look what Sean O'Malley's doing now. Sean O'Malley's Sean O'Malley's a champion, and he's doing super good, and like he's one of the best strikers in the UFC. Like, this dude took a jump from fighting I don't even remember his name, to Peter Yan. Like, that's such a big advantage. And that was a close ass fight. Even if you think Peter Yan won that fight, it was super close. Like, Sean O'Malley's ranked number 10 fighting the number 1 ranked guy. And I understand the UFC wants to has favoritism, but you can't discredit these guys just because they beat cans, because sorry about my stutter, guys. Like, you can't discredit these guys for being cans because it's their first couple of fights in the UFC, and of course they're not going to fight ranked guys automatically. So, Let these guys develop. Let these guys grow. Robert Rosas is only like 20 years old. Peyton Talbot's only like 25. These guys are all under like 20 years old, I'm pretty sure. So like, let them develop, bro. They don't have to fight ranked guys right away. Moving on to the next take is that Aldo wasn't good anymore after Conor beat him. People use this to discredit Volk and Max's wins over Aldo. They'll be like, oh, Aldo wasn't the same after Conor knocked him out, which I think is stupid, because this is all all the people put on screen right now is all the people that Aldo beat after he got knocked out by Conor. Beat Frankie Edgar, Renato Moicano, and that win's aging well because Renato Moicano is actually winning right now. Jeremy Stevens, decent win. Marlon Moraes, that was a robbery. Marlon Vera, not super good win, but like that was a really good win at the time. Rob Font, Pedro Munoz, all 3 top 10 guys in the division. And then most recently he retired and then came back and fought Jonathan Martinez, who was like a really good contender that a lot of people were hyping up, and he 30-27 them. So yes, Jose Aldo was good after Conor knocked him out. He literally went down to bantamweight and got a title shot. The reason he lost to Max and Volk was because they're better than him. The reason he lost to Peter Yan and Merab is because they're better than him. It's not because he wasn't good. It's because he was just fighting people who were better than him. That's as simple as that. It's not that he wasn't in his prime anymore. But yeah, so moving on to the next take oh my god. Listen guys, I'm not gonna get like in another rant about how Tom Aspinall would beat John Jones, because you guys hate hearing that, I'm guessing already. But this is the people who say like on comment sections where people say like, oh, Tom Aspinall beat John Jones. People like to say Tom Aspinall lost to Curtis Blaydes, and that just exposes themselves for not watching fights. And then they'll even try and like justify that shit afterward. Like when you'll be like, okay, he got injured, they'll be like, oh yeah, he shattered his knee because Curtis Blaydes perfectly checked the kick. That's not the fucking case at all. If you watch the kick that injured Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blaydes didn't move his leg at all. And you could see in the earlier fight when Tom threw one kick like earlier, he started wobbling and he knew he was gonna get injured, and that's why he started going for it. And he looked a little goofy in that fight, and then he tore his ACL. And Curtis Blaydes didn't do anything to cause that. So Curtis Blaydes should not get credit for this win at all. I will stand on this. I will die on the hill that Curtis Blaydes is not as good as Tom Aspinall, bro. And no, Tom Aspinall did not lose to Curtis Blaydes because he got injured. That's not his fucking fault. So no, you should not discredit Tom Aspinall because you should not discredit Tom Aspinall because he got injured against Curtis Blaydes, bro. He's undefeated in the UFC. Like, if you don't count this win, and this is not a legit loss, bro. Like, I don't understand why people try and make it out like a legit loss, and like people act like John Jones is gonna. They're like, oh, John Jones is gonna destroy his knee. Like, how? Like this take is so stupid, bro. But yeah. So it's gonna be the end of the video, guys. But I do want to take some time to promote my TikTok. My TikTok and my Instagram. They're both the exact same names as my my YouTube channel. So go ahead, follow them. I do want to start posting more on TikTok, maybe, just because it's a little quicker. But follow my TikTok, follow my Instagram, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.